What is going on, everyone? My name is Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology, the Overhaul patch action. This video is going to go through the changes that have been pushed in for 1.0, as well as some future changes that may be coming, depending on what ends up happening with these changes. So I'm excited to hear your thoughts on this patch, as well as suggestions for this future direction we're going to be going in. However, let's jump into it. Overhaul patch 1.0 has included a hero for every god, a unique hero for every god. And I'm excited to see how this is going to be happening. Or what's going to happen with these units. So Greek is going to be getting, or Zeus is going to be getting the old friend Arcantos. Obviously, you guys will know what Arcantos is like from the campaign. He will stand there with his spear, throw it in the air, and yell, and that is going to make a war cry happen. So that's Zeus. He gets Arcantos. Now, all of these heroes cost roughly 300 resources, 2 favor, and are available in the classical age. They all take 20 seconds to train. They've all got slightly different stats and slightly different effects, with a couple of notable exceptions. So the next one is Hades. Now, unfortunately, I haven't been able to do what I want to do with Melagius. I want him to do a war cry similar to Arcantos, but I want it to be kind of like a mini restoration boost. And I'm talking like somewhere in the vicinity of like 10 HP boost onto everything. Something like that would be really cool, but I'm just not sure how to do it. So at the moment, he's got a kind of filler effect of the same effect of the as Arcantos, and I think this is actually the effect he has in the campaign as well, which is the war cry. After this, we've got Poseidon with Agamemnon. He's got a bash. Bam! If you can remember Ajax in the campaign, he shield bashes the people away. This is going to be the same thing for Agamemnon. Sends a unit flying, does bonus damage, all the good stuff there. And now moving into Egyptian, Ra gets Setna. Now, Setna is a priest. If you remember for the campaign, he can heal. I've removed that from Ra because Ra's already got a bunch of healing attributes, and instead, Setna is going to be able to lifesteal. Now, obviously, if this is too weak, too strong, can very easily tune this one. But the idea here is that Setna does very small amounts of damage to human units, but very large amounts of damage to myth units. So if you have a myth unit and get a whole bunch of damage done to the Setna, so long as he's attacking the myth unit, he should be able to survive that damage coming through. So it means that you have to kind of have this little micro mini game where you're trying to keep your myth units away from Setna in order to kill him before he gets into the fight. So it's an interesting one there. Isis and Set have got a very similar unit here. Unfortunately, it's a different unit, but unfortunately, I'm strapped with the amount of stuff that I can do. Amanra gets a jump attack. Theris gets a jump attack. They both get the jump attack. They're a little bit different stat-wise, but they're basically the same unit there for each of those. So it'll be fun to see them being able to run around, do a little bit of raiding, and all the good stuff that comes with those units there. Next on the list is Loki. Loki gets Folstag. Yes, now Folstag is one of the unique kind of heroes. He has a 60-second cooldown instead of a 20-second cooldown. He costs a little bit more. He costs an extra population, and he can freeze units. He's got a little bit more stats. He's a little bit more of a beefy unit, but he is tuned down a little bit in terms of the cooldown and the costing and everything. So hopefully this unit is going to work. Loki doesn't get a Frost Giant, so this one, until he gets the Mythic Age, obviously. So this one is going to help him out a little bit. And obviously with a 60-second cooldown, not going to be that important, but slow unit that freezes the myth units means he will be able to actually take them out quite quickly. So it's going to be a scary unit to deal with if you want to go myth units against Loki, which we already kind of don't want to do, but it'll be an interesting unit there and see if Loki actually uses that. Now, Odin, Norse players rejoice. They finally get their hero archer. Reganleaf is going to be having a special attack, which is similar to the Centaur style special attack. So it doesn't miss, it does bonus damage, and is, yeah, basically that's that. Reganleaf cannot heal. Thor is one of the unique gods, gets similar to Loki, gets Eitri and Brock. They do not shoot an arrow with a special excuse me, they do not shoot an arrow. They don't actually have a rechargeable ability. Instead, they get to gather resources, and they, instead of using their shank to deal damage, they're actually using their bow to deal damage. So they don't have a hand attack. They just have a range attack, and they can use that range attack on anything. So they both, Odin and Thor, get that ranged hero that Norse has been really wanting. Atlantean, Uranus, caster, obviously very similar to the campaign. He gets the bash, smacks the units away, happy days. Kronos here gets Gargarensis, and this is one that I've kind of thrown up in the air. I'm not 100% sure what to do with this. Now, if you guys know the Cyclops, it's a really, really annoying unit. Why is it annoying? Because if your opponent is moving their units around, you can't get any damage done if you've got the throwing animation. So Gargarensis' actual animation is the Cyclops throw. So he can pick up a unit and he can throw it. This seems like it's going to be annoying. So I've changed it into Bash. Now that's like 3 different units that have all got the same kind of unique ability of Bash. I might consider going back to it and just giving it kind of a longer cooldown or something. Considering these units are supposed to be used to kill myth units and the like, it might be fine to just have the Gargarensis have that throw ability, because most of the time he's going to be wanting to kill myth units anyways. But it's just going to be annoying, I feel like, having this unit consistently being clunky throughout a game. So I've changed it to Bash. If you guys think I should change it back, let me know. Next one on the list is Gaia getting Circe. Yes. Now, for those of you who don't know, Circe has actually got a attack animation that is not attached in any way, shape, or form to Circe for some reason. I don't know why it never went that way, but Ensemble Studios didn't do it. So we've attached that animation. Circe has got a melee attack, which she whacks things, but also has got the ranged chain lightning attack. So it's a little bit of both. Very exciting to see how that one's going to work and if that's going to be way too strong. Obviously, the chain lightning is being toned down. It doesn't do 100 pierce, 100 hack, 100 crush. It does like 20 hack or something. Okay, so that's the heroes. Next, Norse. We've managed to get Balder a little bit stronger. I figured out how I can include the extra 5 heroes of Ragnarok. Effectively, they're coming out of your temple now. So you get the 5 extra heroes of Ragnarok when you hit Balder, and then you click the Well of Ragnarok, and then every minute after that, you're going to get 5 heroes of Ragnarok. So you should see that immediate boost in power when you get Balder, as if you were to just use that on the thing. But that's how that's going to go. The next one is Ballista no longer receive bonus damage in terms of raw stats with Burning Pitch, which is like 1 crush damage or something. So in effect, 3 or 4 crush damage. I can't remember if Ballista uses 3 arrows or 4, but that's gone. Instead, they're going to be getting 50% bonus damage versus buildings. Now, I'm monitoring this really, really hard. I think this is going to be broken. I think that Norse's Ballista with this upgrade is going to need tuning down on the pierce damage. However, I'm watching this and we're going to very quickly see if this is broken and very easily tone that damage down and fix that one there. Next on the list is Atlantean. Big changes to Gaia here. I'm excited to see if this is going to work or if it's going to be too strong or if it's going to be too weak. But Gaia's technology bonus has been heavily changed. The Age 1 techs are still cheaper. Hand axe, pickaxe, plow. Wait, not plow. Hand axe, pickaxe, hunting dogs, husbandry are all still cheaper. After that, the technologies return back to the age you're supposed to buy them in. So you can't buy Bowsaw in the archaic age. You have to be in the classical age. You can't buy carpenters in the heroic age. You have to be in the archaic age. You have to be in the heroic age, and flight controllers in the mythic age, right? But each of these upgrades is now going to spawn a hero unit at your economic guild, which means you're going to be able to get some heroes out to deal with myth unit spam a little bit easier. There's also a chance that I'm going to be also changing the way that the Caladria works a little bit. Now, stay tuned on that. Let me know what sort of changes you would like to see for this Caladria. The chance is that we're going to be going with some sort of an attack from the Caladria and a limit of 1. So that Caladria can move around. It's not going to be able to attack villages, hopefully, but it's going to be able to join in on the fight and help you out as both Gaia and Uranus. Making this god potentially pickable will be very, very interesting. So we'll see if that's going to be something that comes in or not, if that's possible. It's in the pipelines. The next thing is, I saw a lot of people complaining about how Atlantean, with the changes that I've done to the Cairo Baluster and the Destroyer, was seeing too much of a similar play as Greek. So I've heard that and I've said, all right, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. We're going to go into a very, very counter unit based thing. One thing that ends up happening with Atlantean is as the game progresses, the counter barracks becomes less and less used. I don't want that to happen. I want the counter barracks to be a building that's used throughout the entire game. And I want it to be mixed in with the other barracks. I want both of the units to be getting created. So what I've done here is I've made Thermocatapultes and Destroyer have bonus damage against 2 different types of units. So they're going to be really good against 2 things and really bad against 1 thing is the general idea. So the base stats are pulled down, and the damage is going up. So also the bonus damage versus the original unit has gone down. So the Terma, for example, I think is like a 300 bonus versus archers normally. That's pulled down to a 200% bonus. And it has got an 100% bonus versus infantry. The Catapultes here has 100% bonus versus the cavalry instead of 200% versus the cavalry. It gets 100% bonus versus archers as well. This unit I'm monitoring might be too rubbish because it has kind of rubbish stats against archers anyways. I might boost its pierce armor a little bit here to help out there. We'll have to wait and see on that one. The Destroyer here is now going to be getting bonus damage versus infantry and cavalry. So it's a counter infantry and a cavalry, so it can be used in that situation as well. Also, speed reduced to 4.5 for all these units of coming down in speed, so they're not as crazy fast and as crazy hard to deal with, so you can deal with them a bit easier. Very interested in seeing what this is going to do. The Cairo Baluster has also got the Baluster treatment in the Burning Pitch is now going to get bonus damage onto that unit there. All right. Now, what is coming? I've already written it here, but the Navy is getting a rework. I'm looking into Siege, going into, not Siege, I'm looking into the Archer ship, the Hammer ship, and the Baluster ship, all coming into the Classical Age with severely reduced stats, so especially the Baluster ship and the Hammer ship. I'm also looking into potentially changing the way that the fighting happens. So at the moment, the Archer ship has got 10 track rating. So it basically can't miss. What I want to see if it works or not, I'm going to have to do some serious testing on this. I'm going to see if I can make the Archer ship have, say, 5 track rating so that it can hit all of the units that it needs to below it, but miss the other Archer ships, miss the Hammer ships, so that everyone can kind of have a nice job of microing against each other. And instead of it being a micro fest of just pulling your ships back, you're going to be able to move your ships from side to side, so your opponent has to really be paying attention and focus firing the correct ship in those fights. I might also, another option here, if people are interested I'm interested in your opinions, is that the Archer ship and the Hammer ship and the Siege ship might end up getting a slight bonus against their counterpart to increase the amount of damage actually coming out in these fights and making more of an importance on micro on having your ship attack the ship it's supposed to counter, rather than just trying to get as much damage output done as possible with the micro. So I'm not sure there what's going to happen, but that's the Navy rework that might be coming in. The next rework, with these heroes coming in and all these changes, a myth unit rework of sorts may be coming, whether that be in the style of reducing their favor cost, whether that be in the style of increasing their damage output against heroes, whether that becoming the impact of maybe having less damage coming from heroes themselves, toning that down a little bit. Lots of different things to be taking a look in as this comes in. Over the next couple of weeks, month, or whatever, I'll be hopefully getting some games out there. Every single comment you guys write, I'm reading and I'm thinking about, and I want to be making this patch nice and fun to play and be very, very different, and just show you that this game has got a lot of different directions that it could go. And I'm excited to see the way that it could go. If you guys enjoyed this one and enjoyed the Overhaul patch, definitely let me know. If you don't, then let me know that as well, and I can nip it in the bud, and then I can just keep working on other things. Anyways, my name's Boit. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next game.